wow. Okay. Nightbitch stars Amy Adams as a mom. She is a mom who loves her son, but she can't help having dark thoughts, very dark thoughts about where she is in her life, about the world, about what she thinks about her husband. And her husband, played by Scoot McNairy, is a dutiful husband, but not really great on being a dad that picks up the slack. She spends 24/7 with her young son. He's a toddler, like, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2-year-old, 2 to 3 year range, which needs all kinds of attention, bathes him at night, but she's let herself go to the point where he doesn't shower for a week. She feels heavy. She has weird like hair growing on her body, and this constant attention to the son drives her mad because she has memories of her life before her child, when she was an aspiring and revered artist who had a gallery show, whatnot. She finds it difficult to even relate to other women of her age that don't have kids. And this is by far, in terms of mainstream movies, because it's from Searchlight Pictures, one of the weirdest films I have seen this year. Her character is unhinged, saying things about being a mother that should be considered unspeakable thoughts. And it's all played as kind of comedy. And she's going through what I would say is a metamorphosis to how to deal with being a mom, her memory of her past life as an artist, what she sacrificed and gave up, and maybe resenting her husband for being able to just have he can go out and work and whatnot and has kind of a life. And I'll say this, on the comedy side, there's some very clever things in this that I quite liked. And there are things I really, really detested. Really detested. And I think a lot of people will be turned off by this because of maybe some of her unhinged thoughts about motherhood. But I would not write it off, because she loves her son. She loves her son. But she's just grappling with what she sacrificed. She ends up becoming almost feral. Where is she turning into a werewolf in a way?
No, well, is she turning into a dog?
She's turning into a dog. She literally in the movie grows 6 nipples, right? So there's some weird. She's growing.
Yeah, I think she's growing a tail as well. Yeah.
Is she growing a tail out of her back? So part of it is body horror, I think, which the movie the Substance really dealt with in a great way. But it's sort of body horror, being a woman who sacrificed a career for a son, and then what that means, and then dealing with the husband. There's a great montage sequence where her husband says, "Hey, let me, you rest. I'll give him a bath." Goes to give their son a bath, and every 5 minutes he's saying, "Hey, honey, can you warm up a towel in the dryer? Hey, honey, where's this? Hey, honey, where's that?" And it made me feel like, look, I was a young dad. I remember I changed a lot of diapers. I did my best to help. And I felt that he did not understand what she goes through. And she finally brings a towel and says, "I do all this without you here," So there were some things that I related to in the upbringing of toddlers, which is not easy. But it's weird. I'm in two minds about this movie. There are parts I actually thought were just god awful. At the same time, I thought it was really clever and dark. This movie really is made for who the lead character
for liberal
is.
Feminists. That's
for liberal feminists. It really is. It's made for them specifically. And there's not even, I'm looking at the cast. I don't remember the name. The cast, she's listed as mother. Scoop McNairy is listed as husband.
Yeah, and everyone else has names.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm a almost bare recommend because of how weird this movie is. And I like the title, Nightbitch. And she even says it in the movie, like she's like, when she gets like she can say what she wants to her husband, she says, I'm a night bitch. She's a bitch. So a bare recommend from me with a warning that this movie is one of the weirdest mainstream movies of the year. They describe it as a horror comedy. I'd say more of a comedy, more of a body horror. The horror is not a big aspect. Alan, what did you think of Nightbitch?
Yeah, I should probably set this up by saying I'm a man, and I'm a father, and I'm a husband, and I really didn't like this movie. I wrestled with it too, because watching it at the end of it, thinking to myself, well, maybe I'm just missing the art of this film or what it wants to say. I'm definitely not the target audience of this movie, but I remember the first half of the movie. It was like this woman hates being a mother, absolutely hates everything about being a mother, and it's not like the kid is a horrible kid. The son is adorable.
Yes.
The way he acts, he does all the cutest things that 2-year-olds aren't the cutest things in the world, aren't the most lovable creatures of the world, but in this one they really portrayed the son as being a very cute and adorable kid who just wants to have fun and gets into a little bit of trouble. But it's not like the kid is screaming constantly, running around the house, defying orders. And what that told me was she hates being a mother, even to the most cute, lovable, easy to raise child you could ever imagine. And then the conflict that occurs between the husband and wife. The ending saddened me, because it was like, really, that's why. That's why what happens. And it's like, couldn't we try a little bit harder? Couldn't we talk to people? And this is coming from a father and a husband, and watching this play out. And so the first half just really turned me off. And they were going for some redeeming values, some things to kind of redeem her character. But at that point, it just felt like too late, and it seemed forced in a way. Like there's in movies, there's this ultimate moment where the character changes, and I just didn't buy it at that point in any way that would make me want to say this is a great movie or a good movie, one worth recommending. So I get what they were going for. And yeah, as a man and a husband, I am not recommending this movie. That's the best way I could say it.
I give it a bare recommend, mainly for Amy Adams' performance. And I'll tell you what, she looks terrible in this movie. She is gained weight.
No. The word, she was brave.
She was brave. That's what you say. She looks god awful.
She's brave.
That's right. She's brave. But it's my memory of knowing what Amy Adams looks like. Mm-hmm. She's an attractive woman, and she looks bad throughout this film and lets herself go. And I think she really embraced the part. So I give it a bare recommend. You give it a warning, and you do not recommend it.
I do not recommend it. I also, we are supposed to submit our nominations for the Critics' Choice Awards. And there's one category of young actor. And I'm wondering, does that kid, can we nominate this kid? I love this kid. I love this child. Can we nominate this child being 2 years old in the CCA nominations?
Well, we shall see. But I think Amy Adams, for being brave, is probably going to be nominated. So